It's been a minute, but it's because we've been listening to the Rega NAIA quite a bit. And it has been a lot of fun. We've had a little issue, but not with the turntable, luckily. We had some user error, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, the turntable itself has been great. I've had it plugged in right now to a Rega MC phono and then into an Illicit. I know. $13,000 turntable plugged into a $500. We're going to be working our way up, just like we're doing with the cartridges. And as y'all remember, I mounted the Rega Indy 7 to the turntable. It sounded amazing. I really enjoyed it. I had listened to the Indy 7 on a P3 and on a P8. And when I switched from the P8 to the NAIA, I was just shocked because I had really developed some opinions about the Indy 7 that were just wrong. I thought it was like really coherent, but just not that resolving comparatively. And then when I put it on the NAIA, I was like, wow, this is very resolving. And it's the to me, MMs, moving magnet cartridges, are just I don't know, they really play the tune. And as much as I like moving coil cartridges, and I do like moving coil cartridges more than moving magnets, I think that moving coil cartridges often suffer from being too analytical and are working their way back from being analytical to having that musical sound, whereas a moving magnet, a lot of moving magnets that I hear are very musical, but don't have a lot of the audiophile traits that we're looking for. And so the Indy 7 to me is like 3/4 way to a moving coil, and that sound of having more than just what we listen to with a moving magnet typically, but it retains so much musicality. I mean, it's really great. Now, the user error side is, and this is my fault, I own it. A lot of y'all are going to be surprised by this. I have a son, and I love my son. You like that preface? And a record finished on this turntable, and he said, I'm going to flip it. Now, my son has flipped a ton of records on a ton of turntables, and he's never had a problem. He's 8 years old, though. And I looked over, and I saw him have a problem. And he bent the stylus on the Indy 7. So that ended our exploration of the Indy 7. And if y'all don't know, on my website, Joey's HiFi.shop, I had already posted an article about how you get your cartridges repaired. There are multiple people that will repair cartridges in the US. I have one that I use, and it's on the website. And I immediately emailed them, and they were just like, what is it? I'm like, it's an Indy 7. They were like, it's this much for us to try and bend it back. It's this much for us to replace it. And it was before Christmas, so I waited till after Christmas and mailed it to him. He just got it this week, and he's working on it. So I'm real excited to get that cartridge back. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see how that sounds. And of course, I'll get a new Indy 7 to compare it to. But yeah, accidents happen. And I play my hi-fi. And the equipment that I have, I really respect. I've raised my son and I don't have to say wife, because my wife has been into hi-fi this whole time. I mean, I have a hi-fi store, so obviously she's okay with this. There's no wife acceptance factor in my life. My wife, when I was dating her, bought a hi-fi, unprompted. So we really instill a respect and also a love for our equipment and hi-fi. So it's not like, hey, be careful. It's like, enjoy this. This is the right way to use it. we're going to be careful. And accidents happen, especially with cartridges. They happen not all the time, but they do happen. I've obviously knew about that about that service, not because of kids, but because of full-grown adults who, you know, have accidentally bent a stylus, and not just on Rega cartridges. I know the newer Rega cartridges get some infamy for having the stylus sticking out, but I haven't had too many problems with it. But I have had a couple of people bend on P8s with an Affetta 3, and I think it's because you have this little area down here, like on the NAIA and on the P10 and the P8. And so it kind of makes it so that, like me, obviously I have pretty good spatial awareness. Like you can see, I'm probably making y'all nervous doing that. But I try and really understand what I have here and how I touch it. I don't try and be afraid of it, because to me, that's like when accidents are going to occur even more. So with my son and my wife and all of us, like we know, like we don't freak out if this gets stuck on the record. Like I know to stick my thumb underneath, and if it gets crunched up, I just pull it up, I reset it, and I put it back on. Sometimes with it on, sometimes with it off. Just depends on the situation, but I'm being cognizant of it. So to me, this turntable, whew, it's been amazing. So you're probably wondering, well, what cartridge does he have on it? Well, I keep backup cartridges all the time. So I have backup moving magnets, and I have backup moving coils. And right now I'm using a backup Affetta 2. So not an Affetta 3, but an Affetta 2. And I have to say, like, I put it on and I was like, wow, this is like crazy, because it has the musicality, but it also has that moving coil, all those other things to it, all that other nuance that you pick up, that we think of when we think of a moving coil cartridge. And so, wow, this has been amazing. And it also just makes me wonder, one, what the Affetta 3 sounds like, and two, of course, the Aphelion 2. The Aphelion 2, to me, if once we get that on here, is going to just... because to me, I've heard the Aphelion 2 a lot on a P10. We used to have it at the old shop I co-owned, and then customers have had it. It sounds like the best of a moving magnet and the best of a moving coil at the same time. You don't have to believe me, just go listen to one, preferably on a NAIA, and let me know what that sounds like, because I haven't gotten there yet. Maybe with a Aura phono section, and with an, you know, an Athos amp. I was trying to remember what the Osiris, there we go, their top end amp sounds like. But I'm working my way there. You know, we're building this shop up. It's been 6 months. You're on the journey with me. You know, so it's been a lot of fun. It's performed flawlessly, and everybody that has come and heard it has been blown away by it, both audiophiles and non-audiophiles. So non-audiophiles, I'll play something on the P3, and then I'll play something on this, and they're blown away. A couple of things that really shocked some of my more like studio recording engineering, like Will. Will came by my shop. If you don't know who Will is, and you're going, well, who's Will? Look in my YouTube videos. He's a music ethnologist. He is an instrument builder, he's a musician, and he's also has a degree in physics. And so, and he is not an audiophile. He is someone that just likes listening to music. And when we put it on, he was just shocked by it. And then, like if you've ever seen Doug DeMuro's review of cars, he talks about, you know, these little things, you know, idiosyncrasies and things like that. And one of the things that really blew my mind is that I'll put I guess I could put a record on, but I'm just going to put this on. When you turn this off, I mean, the bearing is so smooth that I've turned it off. And I mean, it's just amazing how smooth this is. Like other turntables I have do not do this. I mean, the P3 definitely doesn't. and the tone arm just feels like crazy, just amazing. And so there are little things. Now people, the other thing I noticed is I showed this to a customer, just some photos, that has a P10 with an Aphelion 2, and he was like, "Oh, it looks like the P10. How different can it be?" And I'm going to tell you, I'm really excited to take this thing over to his place and hear how different it can be, because it's vastly different. Like the build is vastly different. Yes, it looks very similar, but that's like a 911 having the same shape as a 911 GT3. You know, I mean, yes, they look very similar, but this is vastly different. I mean, totally different tone arm, totally different material, carbon fiber material, ceramic, and then, and I'm gonna take this off. Totally different bearings for the platter. Sorry, for the spindle, and totally different sub platter. And then it has a 3 belt drive, and so it's just fundamentally different. I'm just putting this on very gently. There we go. As gently as I can. There we go. And it's just amazing. Just, I don't know. On YouTube and on videos, you hear people always, "Oh, it's really great." Come and hear it. If you don't believe me, come to Bryan, Texas. I'll play it for you. I haven't seen too many customers disappointed with it, and I read a lot. And when I say customers, like, I mean all over the world, not just mine. Like, I'm reading on Facebook forums, I'm reading on Audio Gone, on Audio Asylum, on all the different forums. I mean, I keep up. I'm a 21st century kid. I'm 44, but I grew up with the internet, so I'm not afraid of HiFiShark.com. I go on eBay. I check everything, and people have really, really enjoyed this turntable. A lot of people are really enjoying the P10 as well. I mean, I can't not recommend the P10. The P10 is an amazing. I mean, this is twice as much for the turntable. The P10 is amazing. I mean, if you got a P10 and a Aphelion 2, like, whew, that's a smoking setup. This is next level, but wow. I mean, to me, the P10 Aphelion 2 is reference. This is like, you really want to go crazy. So yeah, so this, I guess what I'm saying is that this has been, I'm giving you a update on the journey of this. I'm not done in any way on the journey of the Rega NAIA. We've got cartridges to upgrade to. We've got cartridges to check when we get the repaired ND7 back. I had a story about this ND7. And yes, someday soon, not this week, I will let my son learn how to change records on this turntable and just get a little bit more oriented. I mean, I had him flip things on the P8 before, fine, so that's why I wasn't too nervous about it. But yeah, it's, you know, like I said, I really believe in everybody getting to listen to music on a HiFi. I don't think a HiFi should be scary. I don't, you know, if I've had students, because I also teach, come over and listen to music and flip the record without knowing what it was. I just saw them do it. And to me, like I've seen audiophiles like freak out even if I touch their turntable that I'm there to work on and be like, no, I got to do it. I'm like, okay, you do it. And it's their money and I respect it and I understand it, but this is my money. And if someone comes over here and just flips a record and puts the record on, I'm like, wow, Rega has done an amazing job. Someone, one, was comfortable enough to come up here. Two, it was easy enough for them to flip the record and put the cartridge back on without a tutorial. I mean, like, to me, because as much as I'm a huge entrepreneur and I love business, I'm also an anthropologist. I study culture, like social practice, cultural practice. And to me, it's one of the things I've loved about Rega is that while it is a manual turntable and it's very different than the plastic things that people sell that have this auto start stop feature, and it looks different. The fact that people can just come up and flip a record and put it on is amazing. I have a Rega P1 Plus in the lab that I run. I have a media and gaming lab, and students have no problem using it. That's, in my opinion, that's what Rega is about. It's about getting used and played. Just like, to me, like, I understand there are people that, and I pick on Porsche because I love Porsche, that people collect Porsches and look at them. And if it's been tracked, it's like a huge problem. People they want to buy GT3s that haven't been tracked. And I'm like, what's wrong with tracking your GT3? Like, well, it could get messed up. It could get broken. I mean, I'm like, are we Ferris Bueller's best friend's dad? Like, these things are meant to be driven. They're meant to have, well, it costs a lot of money. It's like, well, yeah, they do. And this does cost a lot of money. But we also just need to live and understand that we can play these things and enjoy these things. And yes, if we run into an issue, it'll get solved. You know, meaning someone has an accident with it, just like I did with my son. But love listening to your hi-fi. Don't be afraid of playing it. Love having other people listen to your hi-fi. Now, maybe it's your own escape. I get that. But for me, it's always been about the love of bringing other people into the hobby or into the love of music. I just saw a video on YouTube of Amoeba, which is a really big record store. They have, I don't know if they've closed any down, but I know they had one in San Francisco and LA. They had Bill Hyder do an interview, and it was really cool to hear him talk about his love for music and all the different songs and how his dad got him into it. And like, you know, I know a lot of times we forget, like, we love music a lot. We can get other people into it and listening to it. And we don't have to, like, just by us doing what we do and sharing it, like, it can be a lot of fun. You'll notice under here I have some Rega Jupiter I/O set up here. These are from 1998. And I have a lot of other equipment. This is currently, in January of this video, is on eBay. I'm about to sell it. It's on an auction. It's used. It has a used Indy 5 on it. Check it out. And I've got a lot of equipment I'm going to be putting up for sale because I've reviewed a lot of vintage Rega. And so keep an eye out for that. If you are an enthusiast for Rega, I am always looking for good equipment. And you know, the other thing about me is, to me, there's always enough playing room. So a plug for another hi-fi store that doesn't even know me is the music room. The music room, I have noticed, also has a lot of used vintage Rega equipment. And I have to assume they know their stuff as well. So, you know, if I don't have something, go look over there, like see what they have. You know, of course, HiFiShark.com is going to be a great place to look as well. What I am looking to do is to sell to enthusiasts about listening to music and about Rega, and a couple of other brands that you're going to see me bring out over time. And build up a reference system and continually also have budget systems that people can get into. Because I have Rega speakers that you can get for $200-300 here. I have Rega amplifiers that are $300 to $400 used. I have CD players that are also in that range. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that I'm always trying to have. So I'm trying to have a balance for people to enter in and have handmade electronics, handmade speakers that are made in England, designed in England, and are a blast to listen to. So with all that said, this is just, it's a treat. And I hope you get out to either here or to a dealer that has one and take a listen. You know, check these out. They're amazing. All of their turntables are amazing, but this one is just, yeah, I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me, quote, ramble, but I really am trying to bring this balance because I also watch, you know, all the YouTube videos of both all of my competitors, like Audio Advice and everybody else that makes videos. And I also watch YouTube reviewers, and I'm trying to bring this balance of what it would be like to talk to me at the hi-fi shop, at the shop. Like this is what it's like. I'm gonna just be who I am. I'm not salesy in the strictest sense. I mean, yes, I'm excited about this. I sell it, but it's like that's a choice I've made to sell it. You know, I could sell things that would sell faster and more volume. I could have a different business model that sells things faster and more volume. But I'm really looking to find music enthusiasts who want to go on this journey. Like, one of the things I do for people that really get into hi-fi with me is I send them the Rega book to check out, you know. And if that's something you want to hit me up about, I can send you a loaner, I can send you a new one, depending on how committed you want to think about getting with Rega. And you can even just learn about Rega the brand, and that's something that I do. So I hope y'all are having a good one. You're always welcome to email me. You're always welcome to call me. My phone is on the website, and I hope you're having a good day. Take it easy.